We started with there is, there are, and we went on to build prepositions on there is, there are. Okay, so today we'll look at yes no questions with which we ended yesterday. It's going to be a lot of fun today also. We'll have some games, we'll have some riddles. So let's begin with a riddle. We cannot have an energizer in online classes. So just to warm you up, let me begin with a riddle. Are you ready? Okay. Let's see if our brains can become active. Let's begin with the riddle. I am the beginning of the end and the end of time and space. I am essential to creation and I surround every place. What am I? What I can tell you is it is not God. So you tell me. So you have 1 minute to think about this. Let's have 30 seconds because we don't have a lot of time. So what do you think it is? I am the beginning of the end and the end of time and space. I am essential to creation and I surround every place. What am I? You got the answer? No. No, wrong answer. But you can try again. You can try again. No problem. But I can give you a hint. The clue is this, that the answer is in the statement. And let me read it again. I am the beginning of the end and the end of time and space. I am essential to creation and I surround every place. What am I? I think if you read the sentence very carefully, you'll see me again and again. Take another guess. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. No? It says an end of time and space. Space is a part of it. So it cannot be space, can it? Okay, you want me to crack it? But I really want you to try. Try harder. Okay, I'll give you another hint. It is a part of language. It belongs to a very important family of 5 in language, in English. I'm going to read it again very slowly, and I'm going to emphasize on the point where it is. Let's see if you can find it. I am the beginning of the end and the end of time and space. I'm essential to creation and I surround every place. What am I? I think let's not trouble your brain now. We have a class to go. I'm going to go and check the next slide for the answer. Okay? The answer is the letter E. End, time, space, every place. All right, now look at the question again so it makes sense to you. I am the beginning of the end, this, and the end of time and space. I'm essential to creation and I surround every place. What am I? Okay, how is it? Did you like the riddle? Yeah, and since today we were talking about this riddle was about vowels. E is a vowel. So let me ask you, what are vowels? If you know the answer, please do type your answer. What are vowels? It's very important to understand them. Teachers make very light of it in school and colleges because it's just 5, so they think it's pretty easy to remember it. Remembering it doesn't make any doesn't help us as much as understanding it. Yeah, and they are vowels. And one of the pronunciation mistake is they say vowels. It's not vowels, it's vowels. And what are they? See, vowels are independent sounds. Okay. For example, what do I mean by independent? If I have to scream, "Mummy," what happens to E? E can be stressed as much as possible. But what happens to M? M disappears. M cannot, like mummy, a, e, I, o. So they're independent, and that's why they're pretty important. With them, we form um, the other consonants. Okay, just to remember that, and they play a very important role in your language. That is, when you start speaking, you need to use articles, and if you know vowels and if you know the sound properly, you would be able to use them properly. Okay, let's begin with what we looked yesterday. We looked at prepositions, right? We did not look at all the prepositions because that's a very big family, and that's a little difficult to begin with. But we looked at what I call location words, informally called. They are not grammatically called. They are still prepositions grammatically, but I call them prepositions of place or location words. They're informal way of calling them. We also looked at yes/no questions in regards to position, and we also learned giving directions. But one thing that we missed yesterday about giving direction is that whenever we gave directions, we used root verbs like take. Take is a root verb. Took is a past verb, right? Take, took, taken. Take left, take right, go on, move. All the first words were instructions. So when you use a root verb, that's the instruction. And giving direction is all about instructions. Okay? So today we will just quickly go back and find out what we learned yesterday in prepositions. So I have a picture for you. Okay? Can you see that picture clearly? That's an aerial view of a house. Okay, so I have written there, let's brainstorm objects in the house in each room. You know what is brainstorming, right? So brainstorming is basically when we look at one topic and try and make connections to it. So if I say let's brainstorm on kitchen, and then we come up with a list of things that there are in kitchen. For example, we say gas stove, and so that's basically brainstorming. Okay, I'll give you some help about it. I have made okay, so in bedroom where we have a cot, a TV, a table, chairs, a cupboard. In the living room we have a sofa set, teapot, we have carpet, we have bookshelf, we have study table. In kitchen we have the kitchen ledge, we have the gas stove, we have the cylinder, we have utensils or vessels, we have the rack where we keep our vessels, we have a dustbin to throw garbage, we have a first aid box, we have a microwave or an oven. That's optional if we have it. All right, so that's just a quickly brainstorming. Remember this because next I'm going to ask you a question. Are you ready for the question? Oh, good. That's right. It's good to have somebody respond, you know that? Okay. Now, this is the same image I have, but there's a difference. In this next image, I have a cat, which you can't see. All right? Now you need to guess where it is. Now for that, okay, this is the image. I have in the next image, in the same image, in the next image, I have hidden a cat. Now, can you tell me where it can be by asking question? I hope you remember yesterday's class. A cat is hidden somewhere in this house. I have literally hidden a cat there. Can you ask questions to find out where it is? And I'll give you chances to ask about 7 questions. That's all. You need to crack it in 7 questions. You need to find the cat in 7 questions. So, shall we begin? Let's begin. But it's easy. You can use this brainstorming that we have done. Is it behind the TV? And I'll answer you. Is that clear? Is the question clear? If it is not, I can always repeat. Okay, let me do it once again. Basically, this is the image on which we're going to have this hide and seek game, and we have done a little brainstorming to check what are the things that are available in the there are in the room. So we have a cot or a bed, what do you call a TV, a table. We have a table, we have chairs, we have a cupboard, we have a sofa set, we have a teapot, we have a carpet, we have bookshelves, we have study table, we have kitchen ledge in the kitchen, we have gas stove. So this cat can be anywhere in these places. So you need to guess. And to guess it, I give you 7 questions. That's all. You need to ask in 7 questions, you have to guess where the cat is. So just so that we can revise quickly about what we did yesterday and we can go on. So now should I come back to the image of the house so that you have a cat? I have written a cat here. Meghna, can we start asking? How about that? Why don't you start asking questions? Let me help you with the first question. Let me guess. I can say, is it behind the cylinder? Well, that's just an example. I say it is not behind the cylinder. So where can it be? You can start asking questions. Anybody who can? Okay. Let me open this slide for you where you can check for the different brainstorming you have done. So you can look at it and ask questions. All you got to do is type is it and the preposition, and there you have the sentences. So I can also ask another question to help you with it. Is it in the dustbin? So what do you think? Is it in the dustbin? You can answer me. Or we can do that. I'll ask you questions, you answer me. Is it in the dustbin? How about responding? Meghna, are you there? Okay. All right. Let's just make questions for everything. Okay. So, yes. So please do try and answer this. So I'll ask you questions and you answer me. So either of the way we will be able to cover up what we learned yesterday. Okay. So no, that's it. You don't have to find it. Listen, I'll tell you. In this image, you don't find it. But the same image, I have taken it and I have hidden a cat here. So can't see the cat, I have blurred the image. Now this is where you have to find the cat. So you can't see it. So all you can do is guess. And to guess it, you can take a reference of this. Okay? So I think it is better to ask as many questions as possible till you hit the right answer than to look for it in the picture. So this way you will be able to finish your objective, and you'll also able to ask as many questions as possible, and meanwhile we will learn additional questions. Okay, so I'll help you with one more thing. I'll ask you a question, why don't you answer now, and then you can start asking questions. Is it on the chair? Do you think it's on the chair? What do you think? If there are other people who are logged to this tutorial, then you can also answer. You're discussing finding on The cat in the room. Okay. Is it on the chair is my question. And this is the room that we are trying to find the cat in. Yeah. Yeah. So you can say no, it is not there. Okay. Or you can say it is not on the chair. So let's also use the prepositions there. No, it's not on the chair. Okay. All right. So Meghna, you can also answer in full sentences using the prepositions on, in. Okay. Can you ask me 2 questions at least? I know where the cat is, but I won't tell you. So if you can ask me to find it, you can. It can be anywhere, isn't it? Look at this. Look at this. Can you see the slide of brainstorming? We did. Can you see that? Okay, so in that you have all this. It can be anywhere. It can be in something of or some of these things. It can be behind it. It can be below it. It can be under it. So let's go to kitchen. Let's find if it is there in the kitchen. So can you ask me where it can be in the kitchen? Is it on the kitchen ledge? Uh, it's a good question. It's a right grammatical question. No, it is not. Not on the kitchen ledge. Yeah, next question. Yeah, the next question. It is not on the kitchen ledge. So where can it be in kitchen again? Is it on the study table? No, it is not on the. It is not on the study table. So where can it be? This little cat, where is it hiding? We know once it went to see the queen. Where can it be? No, it is not on the rack. But we're getting close. I mean, you're getting close though. If you just think a little bit harder, you will get it. Few more questions, 2 more questions. Let's see. Okay, where can it be? Is it on the oven? Okay. No, it is not on the oven. It is not in the oven, on the oven. One more question. One more question. Where can it be? Ah, you're thinking very hard. I know, I know. Okay, so let me give you a clue. It's in the bedroom. It is in the bedroom, so what can you ask? And Meghna, can you move the slides until I move, or you cannot move it? You only see what I do on the screen, right? Okay, no problem. Should I correct the answer? Or else I'll ask you questions, you guess for the last. I'll ask you questions, you guess if it is there. Is it in the cupboard? Why don't you answer for this? I missed it there. Is it in the? Is it in the cupboard? What do you feel? I'm giving you a clue. If you answer yes or no, and if your answer is right, then you have found it. If not, then we'll have to go ahead and I will crack it. Yes, you're right. It is not there. So, is it under the cot? Is it under the cot? What do you feel? No, you are wrong. Yes, it is under the cot. Okay? Yeah, but the sad thing is I will not be able to show it to you because I can't make it unblur. Okay? I'm sorry. But over this course, we have made many questions. Let me read the questions that you have asked me. Is it in the cupboard? No. You are, let me ask you, let me read the questions you have asked me. All of them are right questions. Is it on the kitchen ledge? Yeah, like I said, ledge is a place that extends out from the wall. That's the right question. Is it on the study table? And is it on the rack? Is it on the oven? But there has been one thing very consistent that you have only used on. We can always use variety of prepositions. So instead of on, you can say, is it behind the oven? Is it below the oven? Okay, is it beside the oven? Right? Is it in the oven? Yeah, it can be in the oven. Cats are pretty stupid sometimes, right? So have a variety so that the reason is unless we speak, we cannot become familiar with the language. That's the thing. A lot of people feel that if you want to improve your English, they say read, which is a good thing. They say listen, which is another good thing. Listening to English, reading English books, watching English movies, news deliberately, BBC or something, that's pretty good. But then unless you don't speak, you will never remember. The best way to remember a word is not to read the dictionary every day. The best way to remember the word is to use it in the course of a week, at least 3 or 4 times in the right context. And that's how you remember the word. So speaking and using variety of prepositions is really important for us to get used to it. Okay? So now riddle time. Before we get on to yes no questions, today's topic, we'll have a riddle time. What do you call a bear without an ear? Any question? You have 30 seconds or 1 minute for this question. It is not very difficult. I know you can do it. So, what do you call? Can you hear me, Meghna? Can you hear me? Okay, so what do you call a bear without an ear? What do you call a bear without an ear? Wow, I knew it. That's a right answer. Absolutely. Yes, you're getting hang of the kind of riddles yes. The answer is B. Absolutely right. And one more thing. Can you see the words, the pronunciation, how bear and ear changes? See, bear, the sound of E is A. Okay, and here it is ear, right? In elephant, E is A. The phonic sound of E is A. So we say elephant, it's A, elephant. But when there are 2 phonic sounds, let me type it for you. The sound of letter E is, I'm going to write, we always mention it like this within the column, but remember, it's like, sounds like A. Alright? But this sound changes. There are two sounds basically, phonic sound and a vowel sound. A is the vowel sound of A, but the phonic sound of letter A is A or A, okay, as in the long R sound. The phonic sound of E is A, and the vowel sound is E. The phonic sound of I is E, and the vowel sound is I. You have to remember that because I'm going to tell you a very important thing. Okay, and the phonic sound of U is A, and the phonic sound, vowel sound of U is U. So let's see how it affects us, right? S-I-T is what? Sit. So what is the phonic sound of I here? It's E, sit, S-I-T. But imagine when I add another vowel, what happens to it? S-I-T-E. It becomes sight. It's no more sit. The sound of I goes back to the vowel sound. Why? Because there are two vowels. Right? Now one more example. C-U-T, cut. Cut. So the sound of U here is the phonic sound like umbrella. But if I add E, it becomes cute. What happened here? When there are two vowels in a word, the first letter takes the vowel sound, just like ear. E-A. So it's not A anymore, it's E because there are two vowels there. Have you understood so far? Any confusion? Good. All right. So the answer is, you're good. The answer is B. Now let's go. What are yes or no questions? Yes, no questions are those questions that expect yes or no answers. Pretty simple. It's like saying, what is a chicken biryani? A biryani which has chicken is a chicken biryani. What's a mutton biryani? The biryani that has mutton is a mutton biryani. It's as simple as that. What's a yes no question? A question that asks expects yes or no answer is a yes or no question. These questions do not take the question words when, what, where, etc. When, what, where are question words. They are very, very specific. For example, we usually call what as a complete question word because when we ask what is your name, we have no idea what the answer can be. Okay. For example, it can be anything. It can be Subhash. It can be June. Who knows? People name their names with months, right? So it can be anything. What is the time? I don't know. I have no clue. But when I use other questions like where is he going? What am I expecting? I'm expecting an answer about a place. That means I know I'm asking something specifically. But with what, I do not know what kind of answer I get. So that's why what is called a perfect question word. But when I use when, I'm still asking about a time. When I use how, I'm asking about an explanation. But when I use yes no questions, I'm just asking for confirmation or a specific information. Is that clear? All right. So are you coming with us? Yes? No. Has he returned the car? No, he hasn't yet. I'm still waiting for it. That's just a joke. Okay. Yeah. Now we look at it. Present simple. Present simple is the verbs that we use am, is, are, or the action verbs do or does. Okay. Now it is a wild animal. How do you ask a question to it? Is it a wild animal? So the verb is goes. This is a simple present tense. Is it? It is a wild animal becomes is it a wild animal? Does he speak English? Does she speak English? No, she doesn't. Now look at it. Whenever we use does, we use verbs. Do you speak English? Speak is a verb, right? Is it a wild animal? When we use is questions, we usually use nouns, unless we're talking about present continuous tense. Does it eat? Eat is what? A verb. So with all the does, if you want to know about actions, we use does. Does he run fast? Does he wake up early in the morning? Waking up is an action. If you want to ask about actions, then we use does or do, right? But if you want to know about the noun, we use is it. Okay? It is or is it? The answer for is it a wild animal is yes, it is a wild animal, or no, it is not a wild animal. Does he speak English? Does she speak English? It can be yes, she speaks English. No, she does not speak English. Does it eat meat? Yes, it eats meat. Look at that. Does it eat? The verb eat is eat there. But does proves that you're talking about the third person singular. So I don't have to change the verb. But it does not say that. So eats meat. Alright? So does already has a S. So verb does not take S. In the answer, we have to add S to the verbs. Okay? Now we'll have a small game. In this box, there is an animal. Can you guess the animal? You have to ask yes no questions. Like, I'll help you. Is it a domestic animal? And I'll answer you. No, it is not a domestic animal. So you can start asking questions. In this box, there is an animal. Can you guess what animal it is? Are you there, Meghna? Okay. No, it is not a cat. Sorry, I made a mistake. No, it's not a cat. It does not take a question mark. Okay. I think you should first understand whether it is domestic or wild animal. How do you ask? No, it is not a puppy. No, it is not a puppy, but you're doing good. What are the traits? I think first you should find out whether it is wild or domestic animal. How do you ask that? Can you ask me? No, it is not a domestic animal. Now we can think about wild animals now. But instead of guessing the name of the animal directly, what you can do is look for the traits like does it eat meat? Does it eat grass? Or is it a herbivorous? Something like that. Look at that way you can narrow down to guess the animal. I'll open the box if you guess it, or else I'm not going to open the box. I will not even tell you the answer. So it's your turn. Start guessing. What can it be? Yes, it hunts other animals. It's very, very bad. Not bad, dangerous. In your question, you missed article. Is it a lion is what you should ask. Okay, but that's fine, no problem. No, it is not a lion. Ask for the qualities so that you know you can narrow the guess down. Yeah, you say, is it yellow in color? Okay, or you can say, is it yellow? Okay, no, it is not yellow. It is not yellow. If you by yellow you mean yes, it is yellow, and it is not a tiger. What do tigers have? You can ask questions to, now you know it's yellow, it hunts animal. You can ask qualities, traits. Does it, a tiger you would ask, does it have stripes? Um, just give me a minute, I will have to plug in the computer. I'm sorry for that. Are you there? It is not a tiger. Are you there, Meghna? Okay, it is not a tiger. What can it be? Yes, there are so many animals. I told you. One clue is, does it have stripes? Let me type it for you. Does it have stripes? The answer is no, it does not have stripes. Now look for qualities like that. That makes it easier for you. You can also ask for, is it big? Ah, is it okay? Very good. You can say, is it small? No, it is smaller than tiger, but not small. It is smaller than tiger, but it is not small. We don't have to say small in size because small itself is a size, so we can say, is it small? Okay. All right. Good. So, uh, last three questions. If you don't guess it, you lose, and I win. So that makes 10 points for me and 0 for you. We should start maintaining scores. All right. Three questions. Okay, you can take the second. And last three questions, and you should be able to guess it. Is it, or does it run very fast? Does it jump high? Those are not the clues anyway. Yeah. But there's a mistake in the question that you have asked. Can you correct it and ask me? Belong is a verb, so can you correct that sentence, please? Correct that sentence and ask me and I'll answer you. Belong is a verb, so yes. Does it belong to tiger's family? Yeah, the cat family. Yes, it belongs to the cat family. You're right. Okay, last two questions. Is it a leopard? You're very, very close, but no, it is not a leopard. Last one question, and if you answer it, ask it right, you get 10 points, or else 0. Is it, but you have a mistake, you should ask, is it a leopard? So A is missing there, so -1. Is it a leopard? No, it is not a leopard, but you're very close, so close. Ah, no, you lost. No, it is not. Fox. Okay. Now let's check the answer, what it is. Hey, it's a cheetah! Hooray! It's not a leopard. And that's what I told you, very, very close. Leopard, cheetah, and panther are all different. They have different genes and different looks, even in terms of their spots they have. So cheetahs are like that. Leopards have lesser spots. Panther is thinner. Okay. So I get 10 points and you get 0. So let's go to the next page. See, now when you ask questions, you can always ask, to narrow it down, you can always ask, is it a wild animal? Is it a domestic animal? Is it tall? Is it short? Is it friendly? Is it furry? Furry is the cats that we have and the hairy stuff. Is it beautiful? It can be a bird, so you can ask, is it beautiful? Some birds are not beautiful, like some birds I don't want to say. Does it fly high if you're talking about a bird, right? Does it have many colors? Does it eat meat? Does it hunt? Does it jump high? Does it have stripes? From all this, on the does side, you can see it is all action words: fly, eat, hunt, jump, have, and run. So with does, we always take action words. With is, wild, domestic, tall, short, friendly, furry, beautiful. So it's noun or adjectives. Okay. So are we clear on this so far? Any doubts so far? Okay, cool. So we will go on to the next puzzle. Okay. This time I want you to win. In this box there is a bird. Can you guess the bird? Please be quick this time. I hope at least this time you will win something. You already lost. I'm just trying to encourage you, so don't feel bad. In this box there is a bird. And I promise it is a difficult bird. So you better start asking questions. Are you there, Meghna? No, it is not a big one. It is not a big bird. Uh, no, not really. No, it does not fly high. It does not fly high. Think about the colors. Think about the foods it eats. No, it is not a pigeon. Okay, this time, uh, no, let's not make it more strict or else you will not ask questions. Let's go ahead with this. It is not a pigeon, but think about the colors. Think about the food, kind of food it eats. For example, some birds eat meat. Some birds does not eat meat. Most of them does not. Most of them do eat meat. So it is not a pigeon. So what can it be? So think about the beak size. Think about the color and all that. Think if people eat it. Some people eat it. Some people not. So what's the next question? What's the next question? Just go on asking questions, so you'll be able to guess it. Let me. Um, does it come in many colors? What do you feel? I'm asking you a question. Does it come in many colors? What do you feel? What is your guess? Does it come in many colors? Are you there? Yes, it does. It is a small bird. It doesn't fly high. Uh, it is not a hen. Article is missing. It is not a hen. It is not a hen. But let me tell you, it is very common in India. Very common in India. Not as common as some birds, but still it's a lot. People see a lot. Think about the beak. Think about the size. Think about uh, what it does for a living. You don't have to be right. You got to ask questions. That's all. Uh, is it lives on both the land and water? Okay, now can you correct that sentence? There's a small mistake. Is it lives? Live is a verb. So how would you correct that? Yeah. Yes. Does it live on land? Always with yes or no questions, we should always ask one question. So, is he a man or a woman? Is a wrong question. Okay. If I say yes, uh, you take yes for what? Do you take yes for a man question or a woman question? So, is he a man? One question. Is she a woman? That's another question. Okay. So don't in yes or no questions always keep the object single for more clarity. All right. So does it live on land? Is one question. All right. So yes, it lives on land. So your option of duck is gone. Yeah, but the other words, it lives on land. So you have three more questions left. Three more questions left. And if you don't guess it, you'll get another big zero. And I'll get 10 more points. Yes, you don't have to be right. Just ask questions. Keep asking questions. Yes. Okay, now it is very small. Okay, and the clue is it is very small, and some people are uh, named after it. There was a cricketer who was named after it. So those are the clues. It is very small, and some people are named after it. There was a cricketer who was named after it. So I gave you a clue. Yes, yes, you're right. It has a very small beak. uh, is its beak red? Okay, if you say in red color. Okay, in red color or red? Yes. No, the answer is no. Its beak is not red. Last question, and I get 10 points and you get 0. Last question. Why don't you take a guess? Look at all the things. It is small, it is common, it has a small beak. Okay, even if you name the family, I'm okay with that. You get all. You get 20 points, 10 points. Even if you name the family. Okay? So you have 30 seconds. Don't take more than that. Guess, 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 guess. What is in the box? There's a bird in the box. But what's the bird? Should I crack it? Should I crack it? All right. Hey, it's a robin. So we have Robin Sharma, cricketer, right? So it's a robin actually. The family is a sparrow, so you could have asked sparrow. All right, it's a small beak, very small bird. All right, about in inches. Okay, so let's quickly look at riddles. I can be made. It's a riddle time. Okay, so just you lose your tension now. So think about it. It's fun. No minus points, no point. Just guessing. I can be made and I can be played. I can be cracked and I can be told. What am I? I can be made and I can be played. I can be cracked and I can be told. What am I? Your time starts now. Think about it. I can be made and I can be played. I can be cracked and I can be told. What am I? Uh, no, but very creative. Nice answer, but no. No, no, no. Think about it. I can be made. What do we make? And I can be played. We play. Oh, now here it's tricky. I can be cracked. Ah, absolutely. That is right. Oh boy, that is really smart. Yes, it is. It is a joke. A good one. I never guessed it when I heard it. You're smart. It's a joke. All right. So before I think we're almost coming to an end. So uh, I wanted to. Okay. Now don't guess it. It's going to take some time. But if you have to, let's say, if you have to guess personalities. So again, this would mean that your vocabulary has to be a little more appropriate. That means you got to. Children love to play this game. It's a very interesting game. You can play among your friends. It will help you in your yes/no questions and the vocabulary and the use of articles. Okay. So personalities. So how do you ask? First, you ask about the gender. Is he a man? Let's say no. Is he a woman? Let's say yes. And then what do you think about? You think about the profession. You think about the height. You think about what they do. So is she a singer? No. Is she a dancer? No. Is she a model? Yes. Is she from America? No. Does she have any family in the Hollywood? You understand? So you can ask questions like that. And if you personality is she beautiful? Right? Is she intelligent? So this game is a really good game to also improve your vocabulary, and also it's a fun game you can play at home. All you can do is when you gather around your friends or family, stick something on the head, write a name on the head, and let the person who has that guess it everything in English. So we can have rules like you can play this game today or tomorrow whenever you want. All you need is a stick a note, and write something. But the rules has to be, if they make a grammatical mistake when they ask questions, you should not answer them. If they say, is she actress? You should not answer. Is she an actress? Article is missing. So that way, people who ask questions are compelled to make grammatically right sentences. which in turn helps us improve our communication skills. All right. So this is a very beautiful game you can play with your family. Uh, Now let's look at what did we today. What did we do? We looked at prepositions of places that I said I call it formally. They are prepositions, just preposition of place or location word is what I call them formally. But not all prepositions, remember, are prepositions of place. And preposition, getting it right, is one of the most difficult things in English language. Believe me, when I tell you that we make a lot of mistakes. Native speakers do not make much mistakes because we tend to translate our expressions in the English, and hence we make a lot of mistakes in prepositions. So preposition is something that we all have to work on. Okay. To begin with, we looked at preposition of place, in, on, at. Okay. And we looked at yes/no questions. So yes/no questions was a structural sentence, in simple present tense. So we looked at is it with nouns or does it with simple present tense action words. And some of the things that we looked at also in turn of the activity is that it helped us improve our vocabulary. Okay, so are there any questions? Anybody who wants to ask any questions? That I take questions and then we can answer. So you can always ask questions. It's interesting. It's nice to know that people are listening if they ask questions. Please type your question and I can answer that. Any question that would help you, be it improving vocabulary, be it working on your clarity of voice, rate of speech, range of vocabulary, anything that you would like to improve on, you can ask me a question and I can help you with it. I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Are there any questions, Venkina? Would you like to ask anything? Okay, so I take it that you have no questions. So have a good day. It was nice to talk to you and meet you again on the tutorial. So next week we'll meet again for some more lessons. Thank you. Have a good day.